just help you to know that you do have a lot of friends who really care about you.
Yeah, you're not one of them.
If you need anything, just ask.
Judy, please. Look, we can go into the city. I've got at least a dozen friends who will set you up, and when things settle down, we can have another try. You want to get those changes to the system, don't you?
Yes, but I...
Well, then?
I'm afraid not, honey. Look, I gotta go and do this myself. You've been terrific, and I really appreciate everything you've done, but it's my battle, okay? You look after yourself, here.
Excuse me, I'd like to see Mrs. Davidson.
Have you an appointment?
No, but I think she'll see me.
You're with that current affairs program, aren't you?
That's right.
Well, Mrs. Davidson doesn't give interviews.
She might if you tell her that I've received a tape from Judy Bryant. She's made a number of accusations that I think Mrs. Davidson would like to answer.
Have you told the police? If you know where she is, I
Yes, well, I thought I did, but I got there too late. Now, do I get to see Mrs. Davidson, or do I have to assume that what Bryant says is true?
I'll just check and see if she's not too busy.
What accusations has Bryant made?
You'll have to watch tonight's program to find out.
It's me, Helen.
Judy!
Don't advertise it, love.
Oh, what are you doing here? How'd you find me?
Well, there were only one or two Helen Smarts in the phone book and only one with model after her name.
Oh, I knew it wouldn't pay to advertise.
Look, I gotta talk to you, but not here, okay?
Yeah, okay. Give me a minute, then follow me up. Flat 6.
6,
okay? Why did you have to pick on me? I thought you'd be out of the country by now.
Well, I need a place to stay, you know, just so I can get myself organized.
No way, not here, no.
Come on, love, you're the only one I can turn to.
Judy, I helped you escape. I did everything I said I would, but I don't recall saying you could use my place as a halfway house.
Well, you live here alone.
Yes, but it also happens to be my place of employment. I've got customers coming over here.
Well, cancel him. Look, this'll help cover your losses, huh?
No, I can't do that. They'd go somewhere else and I'd lose them for good.
You're not going to settle for rabbit when they can have mink. Why don't you have that much confidence in yourself?
All right. Oh, I could do with the rest anyway.
Yeah, so could I. I'm bushed.
Well, I thought you'd be out of Melbourne by now.
Well, I tried. The police were on my trail, so I had to backtrack.
Well, where have you been staying? Your face has hit the front page of every newspaper.
I was staying with friends.
What a shame you had to leave.
I met this guy called Wally on the road, you know. He just wanted to help. He was a really nice guy. Sort of guy who wouldn't hurt a fly. Then I had to go and get him arrested.
Oh, great. That just leaves me to go.
No one will know I'm here, I promise. You know, since Sharon got murdered, it just seems that everyone I get involved with, I botch things up for.
Well, that makes me feel a whole lot better, I'm sure.
I got talking to Wally's daughter. She gave me some good ideas, you know. She made me believe that maybe I can do something good for once in my life. Tell things how they really are. That'll get pigs like Gillespie and Stewart. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try. And I can tell you one thing, I won't go back into that prison until they damn well listen to me. I got too many scores to settle.
It seems an extremely defamatory item to show. Of course, I will have to see it for myself.
Oh, naturally. But it is important we hear your views.
Mr. Hopkins, have you any idea why Bryant would send a tape like that to you specifically?
Well, I'm doing a story on another of your prisoners, Lizzie Birdsworth. She could have thought my sympathies would swing her way.
And have they?
In a case like Mrs. Birdsworth, yes, indeed. A 72-year-old woman with a bad heart, convicted years ago for something she didn't do. Now, tell me, can you see the justice in that?
Her last conviction was for manslaughter. What do you suggest? Release her because of her age?
Well, she certainly shouldn't be in a prison. If anything, she'd be better off in a home.
I'm glad you came to see me, Mr. Hopkins. I intended to discuss the matter with you. Lizzie is a special case. If your campaign is successful, it could quite possibly kill her.
Is this some sort of a whitewash?
Like it or not, Mr. Hopkins, this is the only home Lizzie has had for the last 20 years. Her only known family is in America. If she is released or put in a home, you could be sentencing her to a life of insecurity or loneliness. Where is the justice in that?
And if you'd done your homework, Mr. Hopkins, you would know that when Birdsworth was released, she deliberately got herself in and out of trouble until they were forced to put her back in here.
You see her as some sort of a plug for prisons, do you?
We are not responsible for the women ending up in here, and we do try to rehabilitate them. In Lizzie's case, it has not been easy.
I'd like her to tell me that herself.
Very well, but you realize she's been very ill.
I won't upset her.
Could you bring Lizzie here, please, Miss Bennet?
Now, about this interview for this evening's program. Will you do it?
That will depend entirely on the department's approval.
Yes, well, I don't think the department would like to see a one-sided point of view any more than you would.
Birdsworth, you're wanted in the governor's office.
Can't you get a bit of peace and quiet around here?
What did you say?
Nothing.
On your feet.
I'm not going. I'm crook.
You wouldn't be smoking if you were that sick. Besides, it's not good for your heart.
It's the only pleasure I've got left. The sooner it kills me, the better.
You know, there's a reporter who's trying to get you released.
Yeah, what do you want to stick his flaming nose in for?
He wants to see you.
Yeah. Maybe he can get me out. Then I'll be rid of you, wouldn't I, Miss Bennet?
And where would you go?
Somewhere where I could die with dignity. You don't get none of that in here.
And do you think being in a home will be any better?
What? I'm not dying in any old person's home.
If you behave like a geriatric, you'll be treated like one. They won't let you stay in Wentworth if you're that sick. You want to waste away, lie down and die? Go right ahead. But it won't be in here because we can't look after you.
Yeah. Nobody wants you when you're old.
Age has got nothing to do with it. It's how much of a burden you want to be. And the way you're going, you'll talk yourself into it.
I've got nothing to look forward to anyway. I haven't even got many good memories to look back on.
Are you coming with me? Or do I tell them you're too ill?
I'll see him myself. I don't want you speaking for me. You'd like to have me put down, wouldn't you? I haven't got much time left in me, Mr. Hoskins.
Hopkins.
And I don't expect anyone to do anything for me, but the worst thing would be to die in prison. I mean, what would my little granddaughter think? All I want is a chance to make up for all the bad things I done.
So you don't want to stay in Wentworth?
Oh, you know, you're one of the nicest young fellows I've ever met. You shouldn't have to worry about an old crow like me.
Now, I just want you to know that there are a lot of people on the outside who care. And I think I can help.
Well, if you want to do something, maybe you could get me one of them visa things so I could get into America.
Lizzie?
I'm an old woman, Mr. Hoskins. I couldn't do any harm to them yaks. I mean, I'm on my last legs. I wouldn't get into any strife. All I want is to see me family once more before I go.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Birdsworth, but there's nothing I can do about that. It doesn't have anything to do with me, really.
Then trying to get me out of here's got nothing to do with you either.
But it could mean leaving all this behind you. I mean, living in a bit of comfort.
I got nothing, no one to go out to. And if I can't be with Ellen and Josie, I might as well rot in here. And if I do get out, I'll make bloody sure they send me back.
Lizzie, that's enough. Take her back to her cell, please, Miss Bennet.
You see what you done? My old ticker could give up on me any minute, and all you want is to throw me out into the street.
Don't overdo it, Birdsworth.
And I didn't know